You need to update your Social Security numbers in your retirement plan. Whatever software you use, you need to update it. I use Right Capital. My clients use Right Capital. And this is a manual process that's incredibly, incredibly important. All right. So any software program, you're going to say, oh, hold on a second, someone wants to go outside. Any software program you use, you're going to enter what your projected so or your current Social Security is. It doesn't matter. And you're going to say, my projected Social Security is $3,000 a month. All right. And the software is going to say, okay, we got that. Now the software is going to adjust that based on the inflation numbers you put in there. Oh boy, this get what? And I use a 2.4% inflation because that's what the SSA Social Security Administration predicts will be from now until I think it's 2092. All right, so if you have $3,000 a month, let me get my calculator. You put $3,000 a month into the program, and I adjust that at 1.024. You'd have $3,072 a month as the following year for an inflation-adjusted Social Security. But that's not what happened. Last year, it was 8.7. So $3,000 a month times 1.87 is $3,261. That's almost $200 a month difference. And that's what the next year and the next year and the next year is based on. Does that make sense? So the next year is going to be based on a starting point of $3,261. Whereas if you don't adjust it in the software, it's going to say $3,070. I'm going to show you an example of how important this is to do. And it's compounded off that. So you're saying, okay, so now I got $3,261. Whatever next year cost of living is, I will adjust it based on that starting point. This is critical, man. I cannot tell you how many people don't do this. I say, look, any software program is just whatever we use to our assumptions are. But the assumptions change based on the reality at hand, and you got to change your assumptions with it. So let me show you something here. So I'm working with this guy. Excuse me, I just got some ice. And he, last year, and his portfolio was down from top to bottom about 29%. All right, so last year we're in the upper 80s, low 90s in percent probability of success. So being down 30% is really threw him for a curve. And rightly, he's nervous, like, because, we want to get you above 75%. And so here's his current plan. Here's his proposed plan. And, this is off a portfolio that's worth, a couple $1 million, but it's a couple $1 million less 30% of where he was just, last year. Now, a couple things jump out at me. I'm like, look, man, so remember, the probability of success is based on today's numbers. And we're using a standard deviation. I think it was for him 15%. So an average rate of return of 5%, something like that. All right, so let me just draw this out. I'm going to show you what this is. I cannot stress how important this is. So an average rate of return of 5, a standard deviation of 15. All right, so times 3, 45. So in any given year, he could be down. What you do is you take, that's 3 standard deviations. That means the probability of your portfolio falling in this bell curve is 99.8%. And you take the 3 standard deviations, because one standard deviation is 15. You times it by 3, and then you plus and minus off the average rate of return, your expected rate of return. So here we think on any given year, he could be down 40 or up 50 with a 99.8% probability of success. Now, if I'm getting that off by, I don't care. But, that's what our expectations are. Now, there is something called the black swan when it comes beyond the 99.8%. But be that as it may, I think that's a good model because it says, look, we're covering a lot of ups and downs here. So we're saying you could be down 40%. That's all that people care about. No one cares about the top side. They care about the bottom. So we're saying you could be down 40%, again, in 3 standard deviations within 99.8% of the time. We say you could be down 40%. That's on top of already being down 29%. All right. Now, could it happen? Sure. Is it likely to happen? Absolutely not. I mean, it's silly. But be that as it may, even if that scenario, 69% of the time, you still have money when you and your wife die. And not just some money. The median liquid net worth is $732,000. Now, this guy has 2 homes. All right. So both those homes are not included in this. So on top of a 29% decline, we're saying it could go down another 40%, which has never happened. I mean, it could, but it has never happened before. The likelihood is not very high. And even then, if you don't adjust spending, that you could be down and you could have only a 69% probability of success. Even then. All right, so the two differences here is if he takes Social Security, he and his better half, at 67, his full retirement age. The 78% is if he takes at 70 between he and his wife. All right, so you can see quite a significant difference there because we're relying less on the portfolio. When I say run out of money, you're not running out of money. It's impossible to run out of money. You're running out of liquid assets here. 69% of the time you don't. The median that you have is $732,000. So even this doesn't concern me all that much. I say, we'll call him Bob. I say, Bob, just you got to tighten your belt a couple of years. If you go down 40%, maybe don't take that vacation. It's just common sense, man. All right. That was taking Social Security at 67, his full retirement age, or at 70, based on the last year's numbers that we used from last year's statement. All right. That's based on last year's statement. Again, we'll say $3,000 a month with a 2.4% cost of living adjustment, which is what I use in the software. That's not what reality showed because I have to project over your lifetime. I can't project it with a Monte Carlo scenario for Social Security or even one for inflation. No software can. So we got to use a linear projections on both inflation and on Social Security and on Medicare and all this stuff. You get it. But that's not what happened because last year, well, this year, we have a cost of living adjustment, which goes into effect in January of 8.7. So check this out. So here we updated our Social Security with the current numbers. He looked on myssa.gov. He did it on the fly while we were talking. I said, Bob, what's your current Social Security looking like? I had no clue. And it came in significant. It came in about... he had $33.50. It went in from came in almost $300 more, right? It was like $33.50. It's $36.50 now minus $33.53. Almost $297 more. All right, so it was much higher than what we were showing, and that changed from 69 to 72. From I forgot what it was. 70. What was it? Hold on a second. It was. It was 69 to 78, leaving 733,000 to 72, leaving 8. You can see, I mean, that's 80,000 more different, and 69 and 78 to 81. So it went from 69 to 72 and 78 to 81. And again, this is taking Social Security as full retirement age. This is taking Social Security at 70. That's just for him. Now, he hadn't had his wife's numbers yet, so check this out. We make an adjustment for his wife at 8.7%. Now he hadn't seen it yet, so we're kind of I haven't adjusted it in the software for him permanently yet. He'll do that. He knows how to do this. But anyway, the point being is when I added the 8.7 increase to her numbers, it added another $180 a month for her Social Security. So between him and her, that's almost $500 a month in adjustments for Social Security. And then you can see if they take a full retirement age, they got a 74% probability of success, which is fine. I mean, I'm trying to get 75, but again, this is again after a 29% decline. And again, to say that we're going to be down another 40% seems pretty silly to me, but anything could happen. That's why we plan for this stuff. And if they take that 70, it's 82%. So now we've gone from 633,000, I think is what it was, to 855,000. Leaving as a median liquid net worth from 60. Second, let me get knucklehead here. I'm just going to take you with me so you can see me get the knuckles. All right, knucklehead, come on. Pablo says, I want to come in, Dad. I know you're talking to somebody, and it's not me. There you go. So now you can see the difference. We have done nothing differently, my friends, other than adjust our Social Security based on real numbers. The real numbers that the Social Security Administration are showing you at your myssa.gov. If you haven't updated that in your software, I don't know what the hell you're doing. I literally don't understand this, man. Update it. Whatever software you're using, this is the point now. So whatever it says, that's what you use for your Social Security numbers. Don't assume nothing. Look at your statement. See what it says at your full retirement age at 67. The statement is going to. Come here. Come here. He wants to say it. He wants to say it. Come on. You go to myssa.gov, you look at your statement, and it's going to have this like sideways horizontal bar graph. And you'll see 62, 63, 67. That's what you want. And you put that into your software. That's your full retirement age, your PIA, your primary insurance amount at your. Woo, did you just toot on me? Because you stank. Look, he says, I know I did that. Hi, Beardsley. And then you go from there. Now, don't use an 8.7 cost of living adjustment model projected forward. That'd be dumb because we don't. You use what SSA.gov says, and SSA.gov as of right now is 2.4%. Just use that, but you adjust your Social Security numbers every year. Oh. All right, Pablo stinks, so I'm gonna let him go potty. We'll see you guys. Oh, I gotta keep saying this at the beginning. Make sure you follow me on Locals. You'll see in the doobly doop down there. Don't forget to sign up for my newsletter as well. I send emails once or twice, 4 times a month, something like that. And it's free, again. But I don't shy from my politics, my religious views, or anything. So if you don't like that, don't sign up. Don't want you. That's just a fact. So, all right, love to hear. I got to say this at the beginning of the video. I need to put a thing to show me to do that. All right, love to hear your thoughts. And the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. We will be on YouTube. I want to talk more about Social Security. We will be on Rumble as well. So on YouTube and Rumble, and we'll probably throw one on Facebook as well. See you then.